I want to talk about the DC-DC charging of the Nomad PDU when you truly want it to be a portable solution if you're going from vehicle to vehicle, rental cars, rental vans and all those types of things which people are doing at the moment. So you can charge the unit by the 10 amp or the 20 amp DC-DC kit module, but then again you're doing all the wiring in the vehicle front to back and so on. And again, when you're talking about the Ciga plugs in vehicles, especially if you've got rental vehicles, they are typically going to be 10 amp and 12 volt rated. You may get ones that are 20 amp, but typically they're going to be 10. If you use that as a bit of a safe point, then work with that. Then you're going to be reasonably safe when you want to charge from a Ciga socket. So just remember that if you've got an older vehicle and someone's tampered with it, just make sure that the rating of the plug is at least 10 amp. So the options you have, again, the 10s or the 20s, you can actually charge it by plugging a pocket inverter and then the AC-DC charger. That's a simple way to do it. It's not something you'd leave on for 8 hours a day and keep the Nomad charged up. Do remember though, if the Nomad is full, and no matter what you put in as far as 10 or 20 amp charger, it is still only going to draw maybe an amp. So putting a 50 amp charge into it when that's nearly full, when you're running your fridge, is completely pointless. So a 5 amp charge, which is now what we've got in a grab and go module, this comes prefabricated and it comes with 1.5 meters with a Ciga plug, and it's rated at 15 amp cabling, 15 amp Ciga plug, bake rating of 300 degrees, and I'll talk about that in a minute, and it's got a 10 amp fuse in it. So it goes to a 5 amp regulated module. And there's an 8 to 32 volt capacity, so you can run it from a 24 volt system like a truck. So if you had a truck and you had a Nomad and you want to charge it, you can plug it into the Ciga plug there because it'd be running 24 volt 10 amp and it'll charge no problems at all because it's got that available current. So this comes like so prefabricated with your Anderson, and the simple thing you can do is you can plug it into your Ciga socket in your vehicle and she will charge. And the easiest way we found to do this is it comes with the double-sided tape, the 3M. You can cut a piece of that, put it on the back, or you can Velcro it. But one of the simplest ways is you can clip this on here. Just makes it nice and easy. Put on your Nomad. Okay, you've now got a truly grab and go charging situation for your Nomad. And the other thing is, by having a DC module out externally, you may find some of the power packs out there. We've seen some 40 amp ones that have internal DC chargers and they're 5 amp. If you've got an internal DC charger and you do something wrong and you destroy that DC, you've now got a unit that's not able to be used for anything else because you've damaged it. It has to go back for warranty. By having an external DC, if that ends up frying for whatever reason, or you've dropped it somewhere and smashed it, you've still got a complete battery unit that you can use, and you can charge it by your unregulated solar. You can still charge it by your AC-DC. You can still charge it by your regulated solar panel as well. So you haven't destroyed the unit. And again, for these being at a retail of 120 bucks, having it outside just means you're not putting your power source at risk, especially when it's important when you're traveling. So what we're going to do is I'm going to plug this into a couple of vehicles just to show you how it works. And again, I just wanted to remind you that when the Nomad is full, regardless of what power source you put into it, it will not draw any more than it needs. So if it's already full, I'm running my fridge, and my fridge is set at 2 degrees, and it's already at 2 degrees, it's just going to cut in and out. So if that's at 12.4 or 12.5, the unit's fully charged at 12.6, what that means is it's only going to be drawing probably not even half an amp. So if I charge it with a 20 amp DC, it's not going to make any difference. It's still only going to take a half an amp. Where it makes a difference is if this is dead flat, yes, it'll draw as much as it can. So if you've got a 5 amp plugged in all the time that you're driving, you've just got to remember that a fridge running for 24 hours at 2 degrees may, if it's a good fridge, it's probably not going to draw about 24 amp. So if you run that for 4 hours, you've basically put in 20 amp. It's full. Once it's full, it's full. You can't make it any more full. So if it's full at night time and you're running your fridge overnight and you're on your way camping, driving in the next day, 5 amp is heaps. You've got a 100 watt solar panel with you as well. You're really never going to have to worry about running out at all. And again, with 80% D&D, you never have to worry about it too much anyway with the Nomad. So that's the grab and go. It's prefabricated. You can get them from the retailers first week of August, or email us at info@renewalbiz.com.au, info@nomadpdu.com.au, and we'll let you know where you can get them. I'm going to take them out now. I'm going to plug them into the Hummer and the Mustang, just into the Ciga socket, and just show you how it works. And the other thing is, when you plug these into your car, you should always turn the car on first and then plug them in. It just means you're not going to get a power spike into it and blow a fuse. But again, this is only going to draw about 6 amp from the car. So you're not putting the Ciga plug, Ciga socket you're not putting it under duress. And then you can quite happily run with this. And again, these are not going to get hot, the fuse is not going to get hot, and this is not going to get hot either, because it's running perfectly rated and it's regulated. You simply plug it into, like I've done there, into the regulated input, and then you can pick it up and you can move it quite happily vehicle to vehicle. It's as simple as that. So what we'll do is we'll go over now and we'll just show you plugging in a couple of cars and just get this thing working. Okay, we're going to plug it into the vehicle now. It's on. It's now charging at constant 5 amp and it's putting out 12.6 volt. So nice regulated cable running through to my Ciga plug, like so. Here we are in the Mustang, and I've got the engine running because the Ciga plugs will only fire up when the car's running. So I'll take my lighter out, plug it into my Ciga there. Okay, she's now charging, and I've got another Ciga plug in the actual console that I can plug it into if I wanted to, as you can see in here. And she's charging, so I can put it out the way. Now with 1.5 meters of cabling, simple as that. So there we go, just bringing it back. It's as simple as that. It took me about a whole 1.5 minutes to change it between two vehicles. And if you're going to take this over an option of an AGM lead acid or gel 45-50 kilo, just as an example, and the space that you're limited to, so this allows you that flexibility. So if you are camping, hiring vehicles and so on, you're not just limited to the one vehicle, and it's just as easy as that. But we do say strap it down, obviously, when you're changing into other vehicles. Just don't leave it lying around. You can put it under the seat and out the way. So that's the grab and go Ciga, the DC module and adapter. It comes as one unit, and it's available again from the partners first week of August at I think it's $120 retail. So again, any questions, info@renewablebiz.com.au or info@nomadpdu.com.au. We'll talk again soon. Thank you.